What's good? What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Gen TV podcast. As always, your boy Ease.
And hey, Wonder Sauce God.
We're back.
We're back, and I got a different seat.
My guy got upgraded.
Yeah, I
You
feel like I'm part of.
in enough work.
I'm part of the team.
Chair.
Golden chair now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's good with you?
Not much. Oh, before we start, man, make sure y'all drop a like for us.
Yeah.
It definitely just support the podcast.
Absolutely.
We appreciate every like, every comment. Could be the smallest little thing. Just drop something for us.
Please,
Yeah.
we need it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we do it. We need it.
We need it. Come on.
I was gonna.
No, you can't play it cool.
I was gonna arrogant for a second.
Nah,
we need that shit.
we need
that
it.
shit.
We
Like,
need it.
damn. Y'all stingy as fuck.
Good, just a like, just a little comment.
But what's up, man?
Not
How's
much,
your
bro. Everything's good.
How's your week?
My week is good, actually. Can't complain. Just taking the punches as they come, but we're making it happen. Yeah.
What kind of life are you living? You just getting punched?
Yo, getting fucked up. Life be throwing me haymakers.
Getting fisted out there?
We'll talk about that off here.
Okay. That's off camera.
That's off camera content.
Cool.
But nah, what's going on with you?
Not much, man. I've just kind of been trying to catch up like on the BT Awards clips and
Okay.
stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I didn't watch the actual BT Awards,
Yeah.
but
I mean, who does these days?
I'll tell you what. So I haven't watched them in a long time, and I think it's because I transitioned out of cable.
Yeah.
I feel like if they start streaming this stuff, maybe they do already, but like if they stream on the stuff I actually have,
Yeah.
like Netflix or Hulu, I'll probably be more inclined to watch it.
Right.
But I gotta say, this is probably the most hyped BT Awards
In years.
I've seen in years.
Yeah,
I don't know
in
what
years.
what they really changed.
Oh, we know what they've changed.
What they changed.
They added Kai. They added streamers to this.
You think Kai is really like the reason this BT Awards became this popular?
1,000%. It's actually funny because online there's been people saying, I think the Breakfast Club specifically was highlighting it, where
They're good. They're known for good takes.
they were highlighting it, saying that some people didn't know the BET Awards was actually happening, and it only happened. They only knew about it because Kai's stream, because of Kai's stream.
I mean, the reason I actually saw anything about it was because of Kai.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm lying. I did see a couple ads prior with Kevin Hart. Like, he was going hard for it.
Okay.
But, yeah, like, the main clips that's coming out of it, like I'm seeing on TikTok and Instagram, is all Kai related.
Yeah, I didn't even know what was happening until the day of. It's funny because the patients at my job typically know the news before I actually know it. So they told me that the BET Awards was happening that day, and they wanted to watch it. But when I jumped on TikTok, that's all I've been pretty much seeing. It's just Kai stream. You know, so
and Drewski.
Yeah. So I think that's been the major reason why the BET Awards have had like such a good year this year.
Like a revival.
Yeah. And I think
and it looked like the budget was higher. I remember like
the production was really good for this.
I remember like 1 or 2 years ago, like it looked like they shot the BET Awards in like a factory. Like they,
really?
like they rented out some guy's factory and they're like, all right, throw this shit in here.
They were going downhill at that point, but now
Yeah.
I feel like, they're probably just pumping money into it to kind of like revive it a little bit. But I do think that it's funny you said that, because while watching this awards, I feel like they skimped out on like A-list celebrities performing. I feel like they didn't really have like too many good performances. It was like,
I mean, I got my boy Kirk Franklin out there.
yeah, they had Kurt Franklin, they had Playboy Cardi, they had Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
But I think like the performances are usually like one of the major highlights of like the BET Awards, and I feel like it kind of lacked this year. I think outside of Kevin Hart and Kai and Drewski, I feel like the BET Awards would have fell through. Like it would have been kind of just a dud this year.
Yeah.
I feel like there was really like no major artists that performed or appearances that would have drew me to like wanted to follow up with the BET Awards.
Yeah, true. I mean, that's definitely makes it more appealing to watch, right? When you know there's a big performance coming up. But I don't even know if like, who would I even want to watch at this point? I feel like nobody stands out to me like that anymore.
I mean, it's funny because
it would have been nice for them if they could have got Kendrick to perform.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right now, like, I mean, he was there, but like if he actually performed like the song, like that probably would have went nuts.
My point, but I think at this point, like, who even like looks forward to receiving a BET award at this point? I don't think like it's really like, it's almost like a participation trophy in a sense. Like, obviously the Grammys is a major one, and the Emmys, and I think the VMAs as well is like the major award shows. I think outside of those, like, nobody really gets excited for like a BET award. It's just kind of just like something to do,
Which is ironic because that should be the highest privileged award for Black entertainers.
Yeah.
Like that should be way more important to them than a Grammy.
No, but obviously, like, as Black people, we like what everyone else likes, so like it's not your local
Uncle Ruckus always has to take his time.
your local owner or clothing designer isn't as big as like a Gucci or Louis Vuitton,
Okay.
because that's what the masses want. So like, it could be a local person that has like, much better quality and charging just amount, or if not a little bit less, but just doesn't major to them,
Okay.
So yeah, I could see why the BET Awards is like just like it's a participation trophy.
Yeah, but getting Kevin Hart the host is always a big deal, because I feel like this guy is just like, no matter how much hate he gets nowadays, he's still like a top performance. Like, he's gonna bring people in.
Yeah.
Yo, did you see that thing where he said that video where he's talking to Kai? He said, he told Kai, he's like, yo, I told him I wasn't gonna host the BET Awards if you couldn't stream.
Yeah.
You think that was real?
Yeah.
That's a big, because it's like, yo, why would he go that hard for Kai?
I don't think he goes out. I don't think it's like specifically Kai. I think it's
he's
like,
literally said,
right,
if you can't stream, I'm not hosting it.
I think it's just he sees the power of Kai, at this point, and I feel like it's like, if he's going to actually put on for an award show or a ceremony, he wants it to kind of be worth it in a sense, you know. So I feel like for him, if maybe, I don't know what do they get paid for hosting? I don't know how that works.
I'm assuming so. Like, I don't think Kevin Hart does anything for free.
But I think it's just primarily, he's. I think Kai is at a point right now where he has like this massive power, where that people have no choice but to want to include him. And I think also they built a very strong relationship with the sleepovers that they had, So yeah. I think at this point, it's
nothing weird about that.
Nah, nothing at all. But I think at this point, Kevin Hart almost wants to like,
big brother him,
they take him under his wing and take him and Drewski under the wing. And I think they really have a great dynamic between the three of them. Okay. I've actually seen some comments of people saying that they need to be in a movie. So
I could see Kai being in one of Kevin's movies very soon, as well as Drewski. Yeah, I think it would make it more like attractive to watch it. Because if you knew Kai's in a movie or Drewski's in a movie, like, you're gonna want to just tap in, even if it's like a cameo appearance,
Absolutely. And I think right now we're in a transition stage for Kai of like Kai being like a household name, like we have even the older generation tapping into who he is, and not knowing. They may not specifically know what he does and how it works, but they know that he's a big name and a big person to follow.
Yo, Kai Cenat is as popular right now as Andrew Tate was in like 2022.
Or I think he's far more popular.
But remember, I like, people knew that guy's name, even though they didn't know what he did.
But
like, it's like same thing with Kai. I don't think a lot of people really know what Kai does or understand what he does.
Well, streaming, what is that?
But they know it.
Yeah. I think like at this point right now, he is becoming a major player in the entertainment world. Yeah. And it's funny because I was watching a clip of Drewski where Drewski's like, it's a great thing that the BET Awards decided to collab with Kai Cenat for the awards show. But the problem is that they're not going to receive too many views for the BET Awards because most people are tuning into Kai's stream. So he's like, and Kai, he said that Kai is pretty much setting himself up to make a play like this, but this play, BET may not want to make a play like that, where BET needs to go on Kai's stream instead of the opposite way around, where Kai is going to the BET Awards. Because
obviously this benefits Kai, but I still think BET wins because they get the exposure regardless. Right. I get that they're not getting the views because people are watching it through Kai's stream. But I think at this point, it's just any exposure is better than no exposure. And you might as well use the guy with the most exposure right now. But
then think about like sponsorships and think about like, actual like monetary gain, Imagine somebody like clips one of our videos. Like we've actually had a few stuff go viral from different platforms they went viral on, which it's great that we got the exposure, but in terms of like our own personal growth, I feel like it hasn't really done too much for that, So
yeah, true.
I think that like
y'all didn't even tag us.
Exactly, So I think that
that's why you got to put the watermark. Let's just start putting a watermark on our clips. That's like
exactly, but
people don't care about shit.
But BT has like the biggest watermark, But I think in terms of like actual revenue, it would have to be some sort of collaboration between Kai or streamers, period, and the BET Awards. I think like you said, you're not tapped into the BET Awards because you don't have cable, which isn't a sole thing for you. Like this is just the way in which like we're going right now,
Yeah.
where like most people just don't have a traditional cable
Yeah,
box.
but I feel like we're reverting back to cable slowly, but they're just tricking us into doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like all of these like streaming networks are starting to like conjoin.
Yeah,
and it's just like, hey, this looks kind of familiar.
They're conjoining, and their fees are getting higher, and you start totaling up how much you're paying for this one and this one and this one. It's almost like a cable bill.
Good, yo. Uber, amazing when it first started off.
Yeah.
Now they're more expensive than hotels.
Right.
Was it Toro, like the car rental shit, start off good. Now it's more expensive than Hertz.
Right.
It all starts, once greed takes over, that's when it gets messed up.
Absolutely. It's like, to me, I feel like, we're in a transition space right now where I think we're honestly at the back end of that transition space to where, most people just don't have a traditional cable box.
Yeah.
And I think, in order for, Drewski was saying that in order for the BET to kind of make its appearance again, they have to do a collaboration with like these streamers, even outside of Kai. Obviously, Kai is like the pinnacle for streamers, but even regular streamers, and it's funny because they actually had one of Kai's friends actually had an issue. He was also streaming at the BET Awards, and he had an issue.
Who was the guy?
Tyleo. So
okay, that's the guy whose sister harassed
Michael Rainey
from Power.
Yeah, the kid from Power. Yep. So
the sister wasn't there, was she?
I don't know. I don't know. I just know that it was primarily.
We don't need her in public right now.
I just know it was primarily the niece was involved. I don't know if it's her niece or her daughter.
Tyleo's niece was there?
Yeah, Tyleo's niece.
Oh, that's the one where they wouldn't let him in with the niece.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him in with the niece, and he was streaming outside of it. I think they tried to give him issues about him streaming as well.
Okay.
But primarily it was they pretty much said only icons are able to walk the red carpet with children because there's alcohol. Whatever that means.
So icons' kids could be around alcohols, but the regular peasants,
regular peasants can't. So I took it as like high level celebrities, right? But
the way you should really say it is, bro, you ain't got it, buddy.
But
whatever it is.
So that's what I was thinking, right? But then it's actually a segment of, or I guess an award that is giving off to some of the celebrities. It's called like your BT icon or some sort of ultimate icon, which is what Jamie Foxx received that day. So that award that Jamie Foxx received, he was getting inducted into this icon Hall of Fame kind of thing. And
shout out to Jamie Foxx for leaving his white girls at home. He didn't bring. he didn't bring them.
He decided to not
respect.
Yeah. So it's those people that are allowed to bring their children on because they're actually getting acclimated or they're getting acclaim.
That's some funny shit because it's like, it's pretty much you're not big enough.
Yeah,
you're not famous enough. Like, leave your kids at home.
Yeah, no.
Let's not make this a thing.
You cannot. So yeah, but his boy came through for him though. His boy ended up Tyleo was like, you know what, I'm gonna get Kai out here and let's see what happens when Kai comes. And sure enough, Kai put the baby, his niece named Sage, on his shoulders and like ended up walking through. No problems asking. You could see the lady in the back that was giving Tyleo a hard time. She looked so like upset. She looked like a Karen, like when a Karen calls the police and then like the police does nothing about it, how their arms are folded and upset. That's exactly how she looked. But yeah, they ended up walking through, and I think it's also cool.
Big Kai come through.
Big Kai, it's funny that you mentioned the Kevin Hart thing because
he 5'4" sitting down, but 6'8" when he's standing on business.
It's funny that you mentioned the Kevin Hart situation because Kai also said that if Tyleo can't get through with Sage, then I'm not gonna be performing at this
Damn, having that type of leverage over like something that big like BT is crazy.
Yeah,
you would think BT would be like, all right, bet, like y'all both out.
But imagine what the BET award show wouldn't have happened if, let's just say, everything went as people said, right?
Yeah.
Tyleo couldn't make it in, so Kai didn't perform, right? Or Kyle didn't do his performance. Then because Kai didn't perform, then you didn't have Kevin Hart. What would have the BET award have been at that point?
That'd have been a slow night.
Exactly. So I think, unfortunately, I think this is kind of where your worth and you stand on business is there's certain things I'm gonna fold on and there's certain things I'm not going to. And to me, my friends are more important. Like me, not only me winning, but my friends winning.
That's the beauty of being self-made.
Right.
Like when you're doing this on your own, like, and you don't have like someone telling you like what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
Like you could post stuff like that. Like, cause I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Cause if Kai wasn't allowed in there after he made that statement, like he's still gonna be good the next day.
Absolutely.
The BET Awards, might not.
And his crazy thing is that It's funny. I was watching another clip, and somebody was like, they ended up giving Tyleo the ultimate clip for him during that episode. You know, because it's like without even not during the episode, but without even like pre-scripted or anything, that clip has been circulating nonstop. You know, so imagine like Kai saying like, "I'm not showing up." That would have been like his cash cow right there. You feel me? Everybody would have been tapped into him, wondering why he didn't perform at the BET Awards and what's going on with him and Tyleo. So it's like, BET, you're in a losing stance. You feel me? Like you need to let the hood in there. You feel me at this point? Because
but good for them. Actually, they made the smart choice.
Yeah. So I mean, outside of that, I think the only back to and I think it was a great thing the way how like Tyleo handled himself. He wasn't like belligerent. He was like extremely humble during that process. You know, he was like, all right, my friend is gonna be coming and he's gonna be big dog is on his way. He's gonna handle it for me. Yeah, exactly. But you know, in talks of like not being humble, our boy Wale also ran into Kai.
Man, that was rough. I'm a Wale fan, bro. When I like in 2009 when like music was transitioning, bro, I thought Wale was gonna be like Drake.
Yeah.
Cause Wale was like my favorite artist at that time. Bro. It was like Wale, Drake, Big Sean, J. Cole, Kendrick. And I mean, like they were all kind of like
right
neck
there,
and neck. I mean, obviously Wale's career didn't bubble up like the rest of them, as we saw.
Yep.
So for y'all that didn't see what we're talking about is Kai was walking to his truck.
Yeah.
He saw Wale walking by, and he just pretty much casually said hi to Wale.
Yeah.
Right?
Asked him about what is he playing? And
on his Nintendo
Wale
Switch.
says Smash Bros.
Yeah. But when what Kai basically did, he was just like pretty much greeting another person. He didn't know that was Wale, and then the chat told him like, "Yo, like that was Wale." And he's like, "What do you call him?"
He
like,
said Wally.
Wally.
Yeah, he said Wally. Wally. The chat saying Wally. Who is that? It must be someone big. And so the driver was pretty much like, "That's Wale." And he was like, "Oh, what does he do?" He was like, he raps. He's like, "Oh, word." But you know what's funny? As I'm watching the clip, I didn't even know who that was. Like I was watching it and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, "Yo, who is that?"
Okay.
Right. And then it's when he turns back towards the camera, and when I saw his face, I was like, "Oh, that's Wale."
Okay.
You know. So, but do you think Kai didn't notice that it was that he didn't know who Wale was, or do you feel like
no,
this was like a play?
He didn't know who Wale was because the way he pronounced his name, and then the driver had to describe it to him.
Okay.
But I like how he pretty much essentially said hi to a normal person, right? Like he didn't like try to be like a superstar and ignore people, right? I thought that was pretty cool with him. Like if he genuinely didn't know who Wale was, but did you see the second clip where Wale went up to
Wale went up to
like,
him and was like, "Yo, that thing that you did is making me look crazy. We're gonna talk after."
Like, no, nigga, this is making you look crazy.
Like, do you not see that the camera is rolling? Like, do you not see? Like, do you not understand how that Kai is a streamer and he's here to stream? And what you're saying right now, you're talking directly into his mic where people can hear you. So
it was kind of crazy before. It was forgettable though.
Absolutely,
it was crazy but forgettable.
Oh wow, Kai didn't know who Wale was, you know. But now, like, you're making
when you confronted him,
right? You're making yourself look like the nigga that got beat up and is like trying to like shrug it off as if like them niggas jumped you. No,
the crazy is like if you've kept up with Wale, like this is very on brand for him. Like he does shit like this.
Right.
Like I know that hurt him.
Yeah,
that was a humbling moment.
Why do you think that is?
Because Wale is like the type of rapper that's always kind of complained a lot. I think he feels like he's underrated and just like looked over.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't think his music gets the appreciation it should. And that's like things he's kind of like suggested at. So getting humbled in a situation like that, just like, yo, what the fuck else I got to do for y'all to like respect me?
Right.
Like that's how I think he saw it.
Do you think I believe it was snuffed by like Meek Mill. I think like not so much stuffed by the music industry, but I feel like he was kind of like under the Rick Ross like umbrella for a little bit, or armpit for a while, and then Meek Mill came through, and then came through as like, you know, the golden child. And
honestly, I think a big part of the reason his music didn't blow up how it should have is because of Drake. I think they make very similar music.
Okay.
In a sense, it's kind of like, I mean, it's not too similar, but somewhat similar. It's kind of hard to describe. Like Wale is
the same audience,
more poetic in a sense, but still melodic. He still has like a lot of love songs, like kind of a softer type rapper. How I think Drake can be, and I just feel like it was like people just kind of chose this guy. I feel like he just did a better job at just going to the top, maybe with connections,
Mm-hmm.
selling a soul, whatever you want to call it, right?
Who knows at this point? Getting peed on by
And,
Diddy.
and Wale was always seen bitter. Like
Right.
he's always just going at it with people on Twitter, Instagram. You know what I mean? Like he just never came off like a celebrity in a sense. It's like, you know, like you don't see Drake arguing with like regular people. Like you would see Wale arguing on Twitter.
I mean, but the thing is, we know a lot of Wale's, like just a lot of emotional niggas, you know,
Yeah,
where
true.
niggas that just get in their feelings about like people, I guess, about their respect, you know, their pride gets in the way. So it's like, it's not abnormal, you know, and I feel like, especially if you reach the heights that he was at, he kind of, I feel like in his mind, he's presenting as somebody that has like a God complex. And they feel like they're just like
he's
above.
Acting like a celebrity.
Yeah, you know, and I feel like he feels like he's.
Yo, but let me ask you this, right? Does Kai Cenat not recognizing Wale speak more on Kai's ignorance in hip hop or Wale's career?
I think more Kai's ignorance.
Okay.
Because
like you think he should know, you should recognize Wale.
Absolutely, I think he should know him. But the thing is, I think he does know him. I just don't think he knows his face. You know, like there's some people that you know, like, oh, I know their songs, I've heard their music before, but I don't know what they look like. So I feel like if he was to play like Lotus Flower Bomb or a Poetic Justice, no, Poetic Justice was Drake and Kendrick Lamar, but Lotus Flower Bomb and someone else, you know, like one of other some other Matrimony,
okay,
right? I feel like
banger.
I feel like he would know.
He would know the song.
He would know the song.
Like, oh, okay, that's the guy that sings.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, I feel like, you know, by face, I think I was reading a comment somewhere where someone said that at that point in time, Kai was like 10. You know, so if he's not following up with a Wale at that point in time. Like you're just following up with like the big artists around that time.
I mean, like I was fucking 10 when Usher was out. I knew who Usher was.
Yeah, but I mean, I get that. But that's an elite artist, you know.
Okay, yeah.
That's an elite artist.
I mean, respectfully, Wale is not.
But can you point?
He's not elite. He's not an elite artist.
At 10, could you point out like a PD Pablo?
Actually, yeah, I was listening. I mean, but he came out when I was like, that's when I used to watch MTV.
I mean, but
horrible example. Horrible. Wave your flag up, baby.
Right. I mean, yeah. But I mean, like, there's obviously there's certain artists, you know, that where you can't. You're not just like you know their music. Their music is actually bigger than them, you know. So I think that's Wale. His music is bigger than he was. Like I said, Wale is just somebody that you just don't see that often. So unless you truly follow him and you obviously are familiar with his looks, then you will know what he looks like, you know. But like I didn't even recognize him for a second until like.
I mean, Wale, if you watch this, bro, I'd recognize you, man. I remember the More About Nothing mixtapes, man. 1 and 2, fire. Like the breakup song, amazing. Yo. Okay, I remember you, man.
You know what? I feel like Wale is so self-centered that he's going to comment in the comment section and say thank you.
I hope so, yo. Yo, come on the pod, bro. Come on the pod.
He's gonna come up here and speak his piece.
But you want to talk music?
Yeah, let's talk music.
Let's talk music.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the most anticipated album of the year.
The anticipated and let down.
All right. So for y'all that don't know, we're talking about Lil Wayne. He just dropped the Carter 6. Has 17 songs. Features from Big X The Plug. Very hot right now. Yes. Big Sean. 2 Chainz. Bono. Random as fuck.
So random.
Jelly Roll. Also popping right now. Kodak. Man, get your life together, bro. Wyclef. MGK, who I thought transitioned to pop. And Manny Fresh. All right, man. How you feeling about this album?
Man, this album was complete dog shit. Weezy F Baby and the F is for fall off. Like that was horrible. A horrible album.
So I didn't listen to the album right away.
Yeah.
So I had to I watched a lot of clips and stuff like that, content on the album, and it was all negative, right? And typically, I feel like the internet drag shit.
Yeah. Like
they kind of overgas things. Like they'll see a popular tweet and just go off it. For once, the internet was right, man. This album was a tough listen. And now, I'm a Wayne fan, bro. I'm a Wayne fan.
Right.
Like you know me, I like punch bar rap.
Yeah, and I feel like it's funny because as listening to this album, I said, "Oh, this is for Ease. Like, this is the shit he like." Like, I'm gonna tell you when we get to it. I'm gonna tell you the song specifically where I said this. He wrote this with Ease in mind.
I like, go sick. Right.
He's just probably bumping his head to this. Like, yeah, this is it.
I'll let you go first. All right, what are your favorite songs on the Carter 6 and your least favorite songs?
All right, so my favorite songs on the Carter 6 were Sharks.
Okay.
I liked If I Played a Guitar.
Really?
Yeah. And I feel like he saved the best for last, Written History.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So what are the worst songs in the Carter Six?
to me, bro, the Carter Six. Like, the
album?
everything else. Like, you could even add my songs into that and it would be the worst one. But if I had, it was hard to pick what was worse because I kept adding to my notes which song was worse. And I had to erase to make more space. Like, okay, which one was worse and worse? Or which one was worse than the last? But Bells, that's the song for you.
Okay, I'll speak on Bells. I'll speak on Bells. All right.
That's your top.
No, it's not my top. It's not my. I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna speak on Bells. I'm gonna speak on
Bells. Terrible.
Okay.
Moolah coming in, horrible.
That was, bro. That was like, yo, y'all pick some guy off the street to rap this shit.
Bro, what is going on? Like, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one where he's talking about him being a blood nonstop throughout the whole album. Like, I mean, throughout the whole song, and then Peanuts to an Elephant. That monstrosity right there, bro.
Yo,
what were you thinking?
All right, we'll get deeper into this, right? So my favorite songs on the Carter Six is "Welcome to the Carter."
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Okay.
Flex Up.
Okay.
And Written History. So Written History we got in common. Worst songs, Moolah coming in. You're right on.
Mm-hmm.
Island Holiday. I was like, yo, this guy's losing it, bro. And then Penis to Elephants, man. Like, I can't understand. Like, I was trying to understand what was going on in the studio. Like, I was trying to visualize myself in there. Like, yo, what's the conversations being had here?
Like, who is? I think this is what happens when you have too many yes men around you, and pretty much they're telling you that everything you put out is fire because there's no reason that this should have happened.
Oh yeah. All right, man. So,
but you said something earlier, which I have to interject. Right?
Okay.
You said Bono was one of the most wildest features on this album. No, he was not. That Andrea Bocelli, is his name?
All right. Let's just go over the songs then. We'll go over each
Andrea
song.
Bocelli.
Yeah.
Random.
Okay. All right. So first song we'll start on is "Welcome to the Carter."
Mm-hmm.
It's like really the first song.
Yep.
You want me to play it or do you know that one?
You can play it. That's
All
fine.
Got it?
Skip through?
Huh?
Skip through? Okay.
So this is one of my favorite songs on the album. I think the beat's actually okay. I think he snapped on it.
And this is where I said it's coming on for you. Like,
okay.
But I think it was the sequence of the all right, so you had King Carter, you had Welcome to the Carters, or Welcome the Carter, Welcome to the Carter, and then you had Bells, right?
All right, Bells is the second song. So you think I like the song?
I
don't like it. So here's the thing: I don't like this song, right?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of I'm Millie.
Okay.
Like this song is like I'm Millie coded. I think if this song dropped in 2008, this would be a classic right now.
Play it.
I think it's out. I think it's very outdated, yo.
Mm-hmm.
See, this beat is like I'm Millie. He's rapping like I'm Millie. I think he has
me Millie. It gives me 80s like hip hop boom bop rap. Like that's what that gives me. It gives me like that like Run DMC kind of vibes.
Yo, it actually has the worst bars on the album to me.
Really?
Bells has the worst bars. I'm gonna read these lyrics to you.
Okay.
All right. I make a lot of money and your boyfriend don't. And I don't smoke bunk. I only smoke that strong. Ice tight like my name. Wong ding ding dong.
Yeah.
Bitch Bells.
What was my man's doing at this point?
Yo, Wong ding ding
when
dong.
he said that part, I said, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a few key points where I almost texted you and was like, I can't do it. Like I can't go through this. I can't waste another second of my life listening to this album. And that part right there, that was the first time I was like, okay, we're going downhill.
Oh, okay.
But also, it was at that moment where I was like, this album is made for ease. Like, okay. I think it was like I said, those 3 songs kind of stacked back to back where it was like, okay, like this, he's catering to like the older audience.
Okay. I mean, I'm older. Thank you. But even that, it wasn't for me.
No.
Like I said, it had the worst bars on the album.
I don't even think it was for Wayne. To be honest with you.
All right, next we have Hip Hop. That's one with Big X the Plug and Jay Jones. I think that was an alright song.
That was a decent
song.
song.
Big X kind of did his thing.
It was very like low mid. You know, like it wasn't like a terrible song, but it was like a song that would not really get too much space.
Like, yo, if this album was actually good, it'd be a song that you like, okay, like this is straight. Like, but this is like every song needed like to be great, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, after that we have Sharks. You said that's one of your favorites?
Top one.
Yo, that's my first time actually hearing Jelly Roll, bro. I've never listened to his music before.
Really?
The dude can sing.
Yeah, great musician.
He does not, like, I've seen his face. I know who Jelly Roll is.
Mm-hmm.
He does not, his voice does not match his looks.
Absolutely not. And he was an addict.
That I could see. That adds up a lot.
Yeah, that was one of his major
I was gonna guess that if you didn't tell me that. Yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And I thought Big Sean low key snapped on his part. You know, I think
it was interesting for him to have Big Sean on the album.
Why do you think it was interesting?
Because I don't think Big Sean, I think once again, like we discussed with Wale, I feel like he kind of just like disappeared in a sense.
See, I think Big Sean got caught up too much in female and dating drama. I think that became his highlights instead of his music. I think that was the big problem with Big Sean.
Yeah, and I don't think like, you know, it's almost like Big Sean is forgotten about in a sense, you know? Like, I think him and Wale are just like forgotten like artifacts. And for him to kind of reach out to Big Sean, it was like, I was actually surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was like, all right, no,
because I'm a Big Sean fan.
No, Big Sean can rap.
Yeah, I'm a Big Sean fan. Yeah, for sure.
I think, like I said, bro, it's like he just got caught up in too much relationship stuff. Like that became his biggest like draw instead of his music.
Yeah, I think you know, obviously sometimes they say your woman is supposed to be your backbone, but I think in this sense, it's like she snuffed his stardom. You know, like she was.
I wouldn't say because he was what Ariana Grande, Janae Aiko. He had another chick that was like a bit. I mean, he gets bitches. Yeah, pretty women.
He has a type.
Yeah, no, Big Sean definitely gets like attractive women. So I'm not gonna fault him for that. But I think it's just that's what gravitates most of his attention. You know what I mean? Like not the music. It's like
the people who
you don't pay attention to Big Sean for the music half the time. It's like, yo, what's going on in his dating life?
It's kind of like A$AP Rocky in a sense, where like he's dating bigger than who he is, essentially. You know, Ariana Grande is a bigger artist than him, and Janae Aiko grew to be a bigger artist than him. I think at one point in time, he was a bigger.
I think they're evenly matched.
No,
you think Janae Aiko is bigger than Big Sean as
for sure?
Really?
Yeah. At this current stage, yeah, for sure. I think at one point in time, Janae Aiko was not so much. I think he was definitely the bigger artist. I think, and that was at the beginning of their relationship. But at this current place where we're at, Janae Aiko is much bigger.
You just wake up every day like, yo, what can I be wrong about today?
Yo,
that's like
you guys tell me. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Who's the bigger artist right now?
Yeah,
in 2025.
Yeah,
Big Sean or his baby mom?
Janae Aiko is a far bigger artist.
Far bigger?
Far bigger.
Okay, all right.
You got Spotify? Pull up the.
I'm not doing that right now. All right. Next song, "The Days" featuring Bono.
That made it to my list.
Okay.
It made it to one of my favorites, but I took it off for written. What is it called? Written history.
Yeah. Okay.
Written history.
So yo, I hate the song.
Okay.
I hate this song with Bono, right? But I understand why he needed to have that song, right?
Why do you think he did?
So this is a movie song to me.
Okay.
Like this is a song that it'll be played in a movie. Like I can see this song, the hook, especially being played in a Fast and Furious movie, like right at the end. Like when they're going home after like just finishing their mission. This is when they played this song. This is like kind of like that Wiz Khalifa song that he had on the other Fast and Furious movies. Like
I think now that you say that, I could see a lot of his music being in like commercials and like stuff like that. So maybe that was his target audience and it wasn't so much us.
I think that's the only one. I think that one, the Jelly Roll song, could probably make into a commercial song, but I think everything else was
duds.
Yeah.
All right. Go.
All right.
Next up.
After that, we got Cotton Candy with 2 Chainz, which as a rap song, that was a good rap song. Like if you're looking for rap, that's the song you want to go to. I think 2 Chainz, I'm gonna say it, he out-rapped Wayne on that song, like by a margin.
Here's where I disagree with you.
Okay.
Right? I don't remember the song. I do remember the fact that like I just don't like 2 Chainz as an artist anymore.
Okay.
Like, And I was reminded on this song.
Why you don't like 2 Chainz?
Like, I just don't like him as an artist anymore.
Like 2 Chainz just had a project with Larry June a little while back.
Okay.
And I didn't care for the project, but I thought he rapped beautifully on this.
Maybe I think it's just I'm coming from a biased standpoint because I feel like 2 Chainz was a one-night wonder or a one-hit wonder that lasted longer than a one hit.
Oh my god!
Right? All right, hear me out. Right? To me, he gave me one-hit wonder rap quality that lasted longer than a one hit. I feel like he had like.
Then that's not a one-hit wonder.
Hear me out, bro. Hear me.
You understand how words work?
Can you hear me out? Right? Usually, when people come in with one-hit wonders, right? The song is much bigger than the artist. Once again, like we just said before, right?
Yeah.
The song blows up to be much bigger. Than what their actually rap quality is worth. Which is why when they do reach, the limelight, they ask for or people ask for a remix, and their verse is the same verse that's on the original. Like it's the exact same thing. They don't add a new verse into it because they just don't have the music to support it.
Okay.
So I think to me, I've always felt like 2 Chainz rap quality was like subpar in a sense to me. And I think like, I feel like he has a very interesting way in which he delivers his music. And I think that's what his draw is.
So what I would say is I think earlier in his career, right after he transitioned to 2 Chainz because he was Titty Boy before, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't making good rap songs. He was making good bangers.
Yeah.
Now I think he's transitioning to more of a rapper. Okay. And I feel like his songs aren't as big as of hits, but he's rapping better.
Okay.
So to me on this song, like he actually rapped very well.
Now is this I guess. I don't know. To me, like I said, I feel like I'm coming from a biased standpoint because it just doesn't I just don't like 2 Chainz as an artist. Okay. So like I probably like tuned him out after like hearing his voice, but like I don't like the song. I don't like 2 Chainz. I don't like it. I just don't like it, period. Okay.
Flex Up is next. Loved it. It's actually one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it's probably the song I would most likely actually go back into and listen.
There's not one song I would go back and listen to, but can you play that? Give me a little bit of that
Flex Up, I got you. Flex Up. It's a very rappy song. You're not gonna like it.
Okay.
You're not gonna get this. He's snapping on it. He's flowing on it. It's actually a good beat.
Okay.
Like
I would never go back and play it again, but I can see why.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next, Island Holiday. Man, this is when the album really started going downhill for me. Like up to here, I didn't care for it, but I'm like, okay. Like this isn't terrible. Like what are people on Twitter talking about right now? Like I mean, like y'all are gassing it. Yo, but when I heard Island Holiday, bro.
Up to Island, it took that long for you?
It did. I was 9 songs in where I was like, okay. This is where shit's going downhill quickly. And this is like a sample. It's like one of those like songs from like the early 2000s. I don't know if you remember the song.
I don't.
But it's actually a pretty like good like comedy movie kind of song. But yeah, when he played that shit, I was like, okay, this
hit me with it.
I got you, man.
Like the audacity to put out this quality of music is like it blows my mind that like we're having this conversation about Lil Wayne. You know, but
no, I mean one of the greats.
Yeah,
one of the greats. Loki's theme, lackluster.
That right there was the part where I wanted to turn the album off.
Like you want
right?
This is when you were gonna call
This
me?
was the second part, right?
Okay.
So like I was like, I almost called you at this moment and was like, man, I just can't.
Bro, we gotta scratch this.
I can't do this anymore. Like, you know, like, and
why are you making me do this?
Right. I'm like, yo, I really have to suffer through like the rest of the album and like listen to this garbage because I know exactly where I was. I was at work and I was on my break and I was listening to this like
I'm wasting break time over this.
Yeah, bro, dead ass. I was like, yo, I could be doing something more productive or more enjoyable at least than listening to this fucking album. But to me, that Loki's whatever it's called, Loki's theme, horrible.
I mean,
that was like probably out Peanuts and Elephant, and then right above that is Loki's theme.
All right, after that is If I Played Guitar. I hated that song. I hated him singing on that song.
Really? I actually liked it. Overall, I liked the song.
Because he can't sing to me.
No, I don't think he could sing, but I don't think the appeal is him singing. I think it's like just the flow of the song. I think, which is once again, our styles of music is different.
Yeah.
You know, so like I think.
I mean, but I like melodic songs. I like melodic rap. That was just like a failed attempt to me.
I feel like if anything, this would probably be the song that gets the most plays.
For real, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives me that like what's the song on the previous Drake album? With the guitar, the Hey There Delilah version. Whatever that song is, right? It gives me like that.
The Wagwan Delilah song?
Yeah. Not the Wagwan Delilah, but you know
that was like
the song you hated on the Drake album with the guitar on it. I can't even remember at this point. But anyways, it reminds me of that song, you know, where it's like just a kind of a random like guitar, like acoustic guitar kind of vibe going on.
All right. Next is Penis to an Elephant.
Yeah, next song.
Bro.
Next song, bro.
So here's the crazy shit, right? If you separate the song and the beat, like what he's rapping isn't that bad. Like that's because I actually have to do that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, let me read this shit. Cause I'm like, this is just, I can't listen to it. Let me read it. What he rapped on it wasn't terrible, right? Bro, but this beat was so bad, right? I actually have to research. I'm like, who made this shit?
Okay.
I've never done this. So I'm like, I gotta find out who's responsible for this.
Right.
Yo, so it's some guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it was produced by Manny G, right? So I'm like, what has he done? Like, what have you done to earn a beat on a Wayne album, right? Take a guess.
What is he?
He's actually got like some bangers.
Okay.
So the guy that produced this beat, right? He's had music in Moana.
Okay.
The Disney movie.
Yeah.
Encanto, another Disney movie.
Okay.
Star Wars. Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh, so there's a common theme here.
Yeah.
The fuck? There's a common theme here.
Like, that's my point, bro.
Right.
Like, how does someone that does this kind of music get into a hip hop album?
I mean, but
like,
then I think once again, I think Wayne has transitioned from like urban hip hop to like this skater rock kind of vibe.
He's
going
been
on.
in that bag for
right.
a long
for
time.
a long time, and
it hasn't been this bad.
But I feel like it's been transitionally getting worse as time goes on.
Yeah.
So I feel like right now we're in a space where like he's just at the peak of like this, whatever you want to call it. I mean,
he's
thing.
over the hill.
Right.
Like he's over. Like his best music is behind him. Like,
I think he's at the peak of whatever this thing is. I think his best music is clearly behind him.
Okay,
but like I think he's at the peak of whatever like this whole vibe that he's going for is. And I feel like that's the reason why we see some of the features that we see, like Bono, we seen the Andrea Bocelli, and then we also see him working with producers like this, you know? So yeah, I think right now, like it is pretty much on brand for like what we've seen from Wayne.
Yeah, what I will say is, and I hope this makes it to the right person, Lin-Manuel Miranda and Manny G, you count your days, buddy. Like, you will be held responsible for this. Your day in court will come, man.
Yo, I think
the streets will find y'all, cause this was a setup, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, I think Kendrick set them up, yo. I think Kendrick sent them this one.
I think this
like, there's no way, yo.
This is career sabotaging quality of music, bro.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead.
All right, next we have Rari. It was okay. That's the song where his son Cameron Carter was on it. It's I'm pro nepotism. Song was okay. Song was actually okay. His son didn't have to be on it.
You know how I feel about people having their kids on an album.
You don't have kids. No. Yeah. All right, we have Maria with Wyclef and your boy and Andre Bocelli.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was.
It was something, I tell you. You know, and
it was
like,
unique.
You know, it's funny because I was
an opera rap song.
Yeah, I was listening to that as I was driving this time, and still once again it's being suffered through this rap album. But I was listening to that and I'm like, yo, this voice sounds extremely familiar, and he is a pretty popular opera singer.
Yeah.
So
he just didn't belong here.
It was at this moment that I realized kind of where we were at.
Okay.
With this album.
You're like far in. You're almost in.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I kind of get. This isn't for us. You know, like this isn't for
Who's it for?
I think this is for those niche people that like Wayne is idolizing and changed his whole like persona after. Like this isn't for us. Like this doesn't have the appeal. And I feel like this is an album. Oh, I'll give my review after.
All right. Being Myself, lackluster. I'm not even point in talking about that.
Right.
Moolah Coming In. Man, that was one of those songs where like, yo, it sounded like a SoundCloud rapper on his first day made it to the song.
Yeah.
That was just like, geez, like, what are we doing? Wayne, what are we doing?
Horrible. Like that was
it was horrible and low quality.
Yeah.
Like it had nothing going on for it.
Exactly.
Even the rapping was bad on that one.
That reminds me of once again when Drake featured I keep drawing blanks, but when Drake featured like a lower quality one of these like newer one of these newer rappers on his album, and it actually did really good. I feel like he tried to emulate that once again and failed, you know?
All right.
Yeet, that's his name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he's pretty popular though.
Yeah, but once again, like not mainstream, you know? So I feel like he tried to do that and tragically burned.
All right. Alone in the Studio with MGK and Kodak. Kodak sounded off on that song. Like, something was off. I mean
something's been off with Kodak for a very long time anyways.
MGK kind of random as shit to me to be on a rap song at this point. Like, he's a confused soul, yo.
MGK is just like MGK.
Did you hear that pop song he made?
No.
Yeah, he made like a real pop song, like a boy band type song.
MGK?
Yeah, MGK.
Really? Okay. I mean,
bro, the thing is like about MGK, right? I'm just so kind of used to him being in rap songs. It almost sounded like he was doing a culture appropriation for his own culture. Like, that's how it sounded. Right. Like it's like, bro, this isn't you. This isn't you, man. Right. Like this isn't like you're forcing this.
I don't know where you belong. It's not here, and it's not there.
Like, right? You gotta figure it out.
It's like, somewhere, but you're not there, bro.
Yeah, we gotta pick a spot for
right.
You. And then last song, Written History. Good song.
Great song. Yeah.
Good song.
I think he saved the best for last, and I think that it was good that he did that because I think it was almost like, okay, there is potential for Wayne as we know it is still in there, you know, and I feel like if he had put that song like earlier on, I think people would have chalked it up to him being completely lost at this point.
Okay.
And would have forgotten the fact that, okay, he put that song in, that song was part of the album. But the thing with him putting it in there, it reminded me of like that. It gave me that Wayne feel that I've been missing. And to be honest with you, I expected that this album would be bad because Crucify Me, bro, I haven't liked his music in a very long time. Like,
yeah, which I understand. I think if you're not into like his type of music, I could see why. I think he was on Corday's album last year, snapped. Like had great songs. I think he's been doing good feature runs when he's been on the features, but no. I feel like his features have been terrible. Really?
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why I said that. I feel like
they've been good to me.
His features and in the past at least 8 years have been lackluster to me. Like at least the 8 years, and I'm probably undershooting because I feel like it's been much longer than that. I think honestly, like anything past like the last album that I enjoyed project that I enjoyed by Wayne was No Ceilings 2. That was the last.
Oh, you're talking like a decade.
But once again, that's the last one that I enjoyed. You know, so like in terms of like some songs, I feel like he's come up with after that were cool. You know, they were decent. But I feel like to me that was peak Wayne to me. You know, I feel like anything after that was just kind of just. I feel like he kind of just took a step back and just allowed Drake to like take the reins.
I mean, because he had a long enough run,
right?
And all right. Let me ask you this, right? Because I've been seeing this all over social media. Because now people are like kind of questioning Wayne in total, right? They're saying, well, Wayne was really never that good, all this other stuff, right? Like, does this bad album change Wayne's legacy?
Absolutely.
Really?
1,000%. I think that this album is a great indicator that Wayne needs to stop making music, like moving forward. To be honest with you, like, I don't think I think he's gonna
just retire, buddy.
Bro, I think he should. To be honest with you, I think he
you can only at this point you can only do damage to.
He is skating on thin ice, and I feel like the ice is chipped and cracked at this point because I feel like any other music that he puts out that isn't fire it's just gonna keep stockpiling, you know, and going into
it'll be more bad than good.
Right. It's gonna keep stockpiling into feeding the narrative that he's lost it.
Okay.
And that he's not a good artist. And I feel like this definitely tarnished his legacy, you know, and it tarnished his run. I think that we are in a space right now that music is kind of like all over the place. And he just doesn't have the pull that he once had as an artist anymore to me.
Okay.
And I feel like I think it's just best for him to just call it, you know?
You'll take a break.
Yeah, just
Yo, go
chill.
collect your 401k.
Just chill out, you know, get your residuals.
See, not to me. I feel like I still respect his legacy. I still respect, like, Carter 2, Carter 3, No Ceilings. I mean, I think you can't deny his history. I mean, it's just a bad album. Yo, here's how I look at artists now. I compare artists and athletes in the NBA the same way, right? It's like, all right, Michael Jordan was amazing, right, when he had his run in the 90s, right? Then he retired, came back, and played for the Wizards, and, like, was pretty much terrible, right? But, like, to me, it's like, okay, I'm not judging the Wizards' Michael Jordan, right, when I look at his legacy. I'm judging him in his prime, and that's how I'm looking at Wayne. I get it. This album was shit, right? But I'm not judging Wayne's legacy off this one bad project. I'm just judging him off, like, the greatness that he had, like, when I was younger. And I get there's some nostalgia involved in that, but I still think he's one of the greats. I do get, and it's like he's stepping outside of, like, natural rap, and he's trying all these weird things. It's just not working for me, and I think for most of us. But I feel like, yo, when you've established yourself, right, you get to do that. That's the privilege of making it this far in the game, right? It's like, all right, let me experiment. Let me do shit that I wouldn't do. I don't need to get famous anymore. I'm already as famous as I can get. I don't need to make money off this. I'm already as rich as I can get. Like, so let me just do shit that, like, I kind of enjoy. Like, it may be weird shit. It's like when Michael Jordan went and played baseball. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, I already established myself as the best basketball player in the world, right? Like, so let me just, do things that I want to do.
Well, I think that the difference is that he titled it the Carter 6.
Yeah.
And I think that was where things went wrong.
I could see, that's a good point.
And I feel like it should have been a different title.
Yeah.
And
should have been the Wayne 1.
Right. You know, like whoever this new person is, it should have been that, you know? And I feel like where he went wrong is titling that, because that was some big boots to step in, you know? And people have been waiting for the Carter 6 for a very long time, you know? So for him to put it out and then it's this quality and it's this terrible and it's so many terrible songs on it, I think it does ruin his legacy. And I don't think it is comparable to sports, because I think the difference between sports and music is that sports has, like, they do have that Hall of Fame, like, legacy feel to it, where, like, no matter how bad you did, you're only pretty much or after your best run, your biggest run or your best run is where your main focus is. I think with music, we've seen it time and time again that nobody cares about, like, how good of a run you had or how good of quality of music you put out. They only really care about, like, how good is the current stuff that you're doing. And where we see, like, good people have put out, we've seen, and for example, we see a lot of, like, big artists come out, have a great run, and then they end up just, like, falling off and disappearing, you know? Nobody's really claiming them to be, like, an amazing artist because of their run. It's just because in current media, it's kind of like, I don't really view hip hop like sports. I view hip hop like fashion, in a sense, where, like, you had your run, you had your time, but you can be played out very quickly. You know, like, your lifespan is extremely short, and you may make an appearance again where, like, you know, in a different way, in a different, you know, with a different spin to it. But having that run the same way is damn near impossible. So I feel like for Wayne, he needs to call it at this point. I do think that he needs to just, like,
I don't disagree with you with that, but like I said, I don't think it affects his legacy to me. Like, I still remember. I mean, I still listen to old Wayne songs. Yeah,
but I feel like it just tarnishes him now.
Everybody misses.
It tarnishes his credibility, you know, and not so much his credibility in terms of, like, the stuff that he's done before, but it just tarnishes, like, makes people start to, like, speculate, because everyone looks at Wayne as, like, one of the greats. And even for me, like, you know, I was really upset when they put Kendrick Lamar on, like, had him host a Super Bowl. And for me, I see why. You feel me? Like, it makes sense.
Good call.
It makes sense on why he did.
Because he would have played his like legacy acts at the Super Bowl.
And then again, his legacy acts, is it Super Bowl quality?
I think so.
I don't think so. Honestly, and in the heat and the feud of the Drake beef, yes, I wanted anybody besides Kendrick Lamar to like perform.
Real hater like.
I stand true. You feel I'm true to this. I wanted anybody to perform outside of Kendrick Lamar, but now looking back, bro, I really don't think it would have been.
They made the right call.
I don't think it would have been a good call, to be honest with you. And yo, I don't care who drops an album in 2025. This will be the worst album of 2025.
Jeez.
Like, this
can't be outdone.
This is rock bottom. You cannot get any worse than this. Lil Wayne album will be the worst album in 2025.
All right, man. I guess we'll see.
There's nothing to see.
I mean, yo, Drake could drop a worse album.
No, it's not possible.
Iceman might be worse.
It's not possible.
It's
just impossible. Like, I feel like Wayne had to try to make this album suck. Because clearly he's capable in dropping good music because you see it in written history.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen,
bro. I think a big problem with this album was just beat selection and production, bro. I feel like the actual rapping itself, it wasn't that bad.
You're right.
I think there's like certain bars.
I was gonna say that too.
Like certain bars that were just like cringy, but it's like he's always kind of had that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe he had fucking Metro, DJ Drama, somebody that's been hot. Put Khaled up there. Like I think the production was bad. I saw someone redo Penis to an Elephant with a different beat and different production, and the song was hot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the video. Like some like white producer did it, and I was like, yo, this is kind of fire. Like this is two different songs.
To me, I feel like there's no cohesiveness with the album, for one, right?
No,
and then two, I feel like a lot of the beats, with like you said, with the song didn't mesh to the beat. I think some of the beats were great. Honestly, a lot of the beats I did like. I don't
like the beat selection in most of the songs.
I liked a lot of the beats. I didn't like the selection. I didn't like him picking the beats for these albums or the way that he rapped on them. And I feel like he picked the beat and he decided that these lyrics were going to go on this beat. So the fault is on him to me.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, at the end of the day, he gave the approval for it.
Exactly.
All
so
right, man, I think
worst album of 2025. Mark my words, bro.
We'll see.
So now into some world news.
Mm-hmm.
Trump and the man that actually runs America exchanged some tweets over the past week. So for those that haven't seen, there was a feud that happened on Twitter between Trump and Elon Musk. So Elon has played an intricate part in Trump's election or his run or his presidency overall. He invested $250 million into the election. And some would say, specifically Musk, is the reason why Trump ended up winning the election. So pretty much the feud started because Trump introduced his big beautiful bill, which ended up having some cuts to EV, but then also giving perks to big energy and oil companies. So what, I guess my question to you now is this, like, would you consider the tweets that happened over the past week, like, would that make Musk a bad friend?
Oh, this is a terrible friend. Like, yo,
really?
we have a disagreement and you start outing me. I saw the tweet where Elon said, yo, the reason Trump won't release the Epstein files is because he's on it.
Yeah.
Bro, that's about as bad as it gets. Like,
absolutely.
Anything associated with Epstein at this point is like terrible.
Now you're not only tarnishing me as a president, you're tarnishing my name.
As a human being. Like, you're making me like you're not even talking about my job anymore.
Absolutely.
You're like, yo, I'm a terrible person.
It gives me like bitter girlfriend energy, to be honest with you. This is like bitter ex energy where, like, you know, you did something that I didn't like, so now I'm gonna put you on blast, and I'm sending out spamming tweets back to back to back.
And I own Twitter,
right? And
like, I could really block you if I want to anyway. Like, if you tweet something, I don't want it out. It ain't coming out, buddy.
My point exactly. And I think. Okay, do I agree?
Elon is bitch made. This is what that's bitch move, yo.
Those are fighting words.
Fuck it. I don't drive no Tesla. You can't shut my shit down.
So, like I said, Trump did pretty much.
I use oil, baby. Gas.
So, like I said, Musk pretty much
fossil fuels.
Do you feel like now Trump would have been able to win the election if Musk didn't invest into him?
Bro, I'll be honest with you. I think Elon bought this election. I think Elon makes a lot of decisions that are actually being made. So I think without Elon in Trump's pocket, I don't know if Trump really would have won. I think Kamala did a horrible job.
Right.
But I don't know if he could have. I mean, as bad as she did, I don't know if he could have won without Elon.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a cult following.
Yeah.
A huge cult following.
Absolutely. And I think that was I think, I do think that there's some truth to Elon's statement. I do believe that he
did actually release another tweet, like, I think today, apologizing and saying his tweets went too far.
I was actually going to get into that. Yeah.
Okay.
He did end up releasing.
I don't know if the CIA came a knocking.
You know what? I feel like this is all, before I get into that, right? I'm going to actually ask you, do you believe that this is like, do you believe this whole thing is real?
So what you're asking me, is this a distraction for us to pay attention to this while something else much worse is actually happening?
I wouldn't go that deep, but it is a possibility.
I mean, it's simply what goes on, yo. When something like this gets popping, it's usually because they're doing something in the background that they don't want us paying attention to.
Okay.
That's what the conspiracy theorists would say.
Right. So I don't think it's real. And here's why, right?
So you don't think their feud is real?
No, I don't think their feud is real, right? And I think initially when we heard about a collab between Elon and Trump, it was already told that Elon was only going to have 110 days in whatever position that he came out in.
thing.
Right. So I think pretty much we're seeing at the back end of that where, like, okay, they came out initially and told us that there's only going to be 110 days. I don't have the actual counter of days on which this lands on, but clearly it's showing that, like, their connection was only for this specifically.
Temporary.
But one thing that is very interesting to me that kind of feeds into it being real is Trump also said in the tweets that Elon knew about all of the cuts that was happening to begin with. So he pretty much was like, which I remember that specifically because I remember when Trump ended up, discussing his bill pretty, like in the earlier stages of it. I remember him saying that there would be cuts to EVs and EVs, subsidies. And, I immediately like looked at Elon, not expecting a reaction, but I'm like, well, you are kind of like the pinnacle. You're like the golden boy for EVs, and you're co-signing like the cuts for.
I think Trump's lying.
I think
Trump's lying. I think Elon knew some of the stuff in the bill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he knew most of it, especially the stuff that would affect him. And I think this bill actually raised our deficit by like another, $1 million trillion fucking dollars, like uncountable money that
right.
I don't even know how. I try to even think about that shit, bro. It's like, what can I do? But I feel like Trump kept some stuff away from Elon and then just passed the bill. And I think he found out in real time.
But I think, to be honest with you, I think he knew the part that was the most important, which, like I said, I remember a point in time where he said specifically that there would be cuts to EVs, the EV subsidies, which a lot of people end up going into EVs because specifically, I don't know if it's specifically for Tesla or if it's for EVs overall, but you could get a $7,000 tax credit.
Yeah.
So like that's a substantial amount of money.
Yeah,
so it's if he's pretty much cutting like the main driving force or one of the main driving forces for people transitioning from gas to electric, you knew even on a surface level what that would look like, that there would be cuts to it.
Or maybe it wasn't as much as Trump originally told him.
I could probably
here's my
believe.
thing, right? As soon as you accuse someone of being on an Epstein file, like that's when it makes it real to me.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like you don't really come back for that. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna stick. That's gonna get brought up. Like obviously Trump can't run for another election, but you never know with this guy.
Right.
But if you would even try to, like, that's a selling point for whoever is opposing him. Like being associated with Epstein is like a deal breaker.
I mean, but the thing is, we all knew that he was associated.
No,
with
we've
Epstein.
seen pictures, right? But like to say you're on the file, because the file like is alluding to something
to people that have partaked in.
You don't really know, right? But you're like you could imagine certain things, right? It's like, yo, if someone says like, oh, you're in the Diddy video, you could just be out there eating fucking crackers in the background, right? But
let's just say, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say, let's take it personal, right? You hear that I'm on the Epstein files.
Yeah.
Are me and you still cool?
Nah.
Like my point.
But I'm saying, but this is like
it doesn't matter. Like you said, I could be eating crackers. I could be just walking by and be like, "Oh, that's Epstein."
Yeah.
You feel me? Like at the end of the day, I feel like
no, I think they're all corrupt at that level.
But I think this is something we all knew.
Yeah.
Like we all knew that. Well, regardless of,
I mean, because if you think about it, it's actually fucked up, right? Because essentially now you're outing Trump because y'all had a falling out, but you knew already that this guy was wrong for being on
that
the
says
file
a lot about you
in whatever manner.
and you had your kids around.
Yeah.
Him.
Yo, it's
And you had your kids around them.
True.
Which I think that I know where this feud actually started. There was a video of Elon and his son inside of the White House, and Trump was trying to interact with Elon's son, and Elon's son did some very disrespectful things to Trump in that video. So I think that this is where Trump was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back at you. And you know how I'm gonna get back at you?
Cut these Teslas.
I'm gonna get back at your father.
I can
But
see
nah,
that.
all
I can
jokes
see that.
all jokes aside though, I do believe that I don't think this is real. I think
No,
lately,
I think that Epstein thing that made it real for me.
I think
yo, it's just certain things you don't come back from.
I think it's a play, to be honest with you. I think there's been a lot of flack Trump has been getting, and both Elon. Well, Trump has been getting because he's included, one of the world leaders, or into governmental affairs, and it feels as though like I think what do they call it? Oligopoly?
Oligarchy?
Oligarchy,
Okay.
right? Oligopoly. But
oligarchy.
oligarchy. We're going into oligarchy right now. And I feel like, he's been getting a lot of flack as that, where people seeing that it was like, it wasn't appropriate to have Elon so closely tied into like our government affairs. But on the flip side, I do think that that Musk has been getting a lot of flack, where we see people have been burning down Teslas. His stocks have been taking a hit. And I think that this is a kind of an opportunity for them to just, on a media standpoint, separate themselves a bit. I do
for Elon to kind of win back favor within his crowd.
Crowd.
Yo, I seen a Tesla today, right? And it had like the funniest bumper sticker on the Tesla. It's like, yo, I bought the car
before I think I saw the same car.
Elon became a supervillain.
Right. So for me, I think that a lot of people are where random people are spending their hard-earned money on these cars, and they're getting damaged because of these political whatever, because of people boycotting Trump, and people are upset with the fact that he's in presidency and the cuts that he's making overall. So I think this is an opportunity for them to just separate each other, because maybe initially they
could have separated from each other in a more respectful way. I can't let the Epstein shit go, bro. Like, it's like if me and you are having an outing and I say like the most disrespectful shit to you, right? It's just like certain shit.
It's just not repairable.
You just don't come back from it.
Right. It's a possibility, like I said, it is a possibility. I just don't believe that this is officially like this is it for them. I think.
Elon's already backtracking.
They've had a conversation on the phone,
so
and
we'll see how this ages.
Yeah, they had there was speculation that they had a conversation on the phone, and that they talked very briefly, and which ended up resulting in Elon sending out the tweet saying that he felt like things went too far. But I think, like you said, if this is true, I think it did go a little bit too far in a sense, and I don't think it's repairable friendship. Now, who do you think that this separation hurts more? Do you think it hurts Trump more, or do you think it hurts Elon more?
Trump. I think it hurts Trump more.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Trump's he's not losing anything, right? Like, he'll only lose, I guess, his fan base, but he's already got the job. Either way, he's there for the next 4 years, right? Unless he gets impeached again. But he's locked in, right? Elon has the most to lose because he makes his money off sales, right? You don't want to piss off customers because then they won't buy your product, which is Tesla.
Right.
So I guess, Elon probably does have the most to lose. Like, he needs people, right? Where at this point, Trump really doesn't.
And Trump also threatened to jack up the cost it takes for him to actually build these Teslas. If he continue in true petty fashion. So, I think at this point where we'll see where this whole thing spins off to, but I do think that there's going to be a reunion between the two of them. Yeah,
I don't know. I said I want to say I could see it, but I told you that. Maybe they operate in a different level of like disrespect and what's not disrespect, because like I said, you tell me I'm an Epstein file, no, it's up. Yeah, like, that's just supposed to be between me and you.
It's supposed to be kept a secret, but man. Like I said, he's not telling us. He's not telling us any information that we didn't know. So
let's talk some local news. The jury selection for the murder of Sebastian by Michael Anderson, the owner of the now closed Mikey's restaurant, has started. Trial set to start on June 24th. So for y'all that don't know about what happened is back in 2022, officers were called to the scene where they found 20-year-old Sebastian laying on the ground outside the restaurant. Police said a fight happened between the victim and Michael Anderson, then 61, outside the restaurant. During the altercation, Anderson pulled out a firearm, which he legally carried from his possession, and fatally shot the male victim twice. Anderson, who is a former police officer in Jamaica, told the judge he is not willing to plead to anything, will not entertain any offers for a plea agreement. Apparently, this all started over some parking issue, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a heavy one when it first came out. You know, like this was I know Waterbury pretty much was mourning on both sides, essentially, you know, because for those that don't know, there were two major restaurants in Waterbury. Two major Jamaican restaurants.
Yeah. Birdie's and Mikey's.
And they were like kind of like the cornerstones of Waterbury, kind of like just always.
I mean, they've been there since like you were alive.
Right, pretty much. You know, so it's unfortunate because I think around this time, which can't remember if it was before or after, but we had lost Birdie, and then you know, shortly after or around before, we ended up, you know, losing Mikey to this whole situation, and then Mikey's ended up closing down, but Birdie's was open for a while.
I think they were pretty much forced to shut down. Right? Like, the people were fucking that place up from the outside.
Yeah, and it's understandable, you know, like it sucks because to us it's a parking issue, you know, and that's what the word is.
From the outside looking in,
right? So for us, it's a parking issue. We don't know obviously what actually happened that night.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunate because a life was lost during this whole thing, you know, and it's
a young life too, bro.
An extremely young life, you know. Like I said,
not even 30 yet.
My point, and this is somebody like that I went to school with. You know, I remember seeing him in the hallways. I remember him being
like y'all knew each other.
I didn't know him personally, but
okay.
Some of my friends were friends with him. Like I remember we probably exchanged words maybe one time with each other, but my friends were his friends. You know, like so they would have interactions. He would be around, and I remember seeing him in school, and then to come to find out, because at first like I was away on vacation, and I heard that that Sebastian died, you know, and I was like, damn, like it's crazy because he didn't seem like the type that would unfortunately die to gun violence, you know. And
I mean, bro, a lot of people that die from gun violence are not typically the type, you know.
Right.
Like I mean, it's a weird thing to say, right?
Yeah,
but it's not people that usually carry guns themselves or like in the streets. It's like usually bystanders. I mean, obviously in this situation he was the target.
Right. And so like, you know, it was shocking to me, and I'm like, damn, it's unfortunate, you know, and it hit home a little bit. But then after I left, like on my way back to back home, I ended up, you know, seeing an article. Actually, one of my friends texted me and saying, did you hear that, you know, the situation that happened at Mikey's? And then I was able to piece two and two together, and then officially I saw an article confirming that. So, you know, it sucks because like there's been a lot of gun violence in most recent years in Waterbury, you know, and it's been growing increasingly, and it's getting to the point now where we are at this place, you know, where we've had a kind of like I said, a staple in Waterbury, and a guy that was pretty much popular in Waterbury as well. Lives completely changed. Unfortunately, one life is taken.
It's not just themselves, right? Their family. Yo, and this guy, Anderson, man, he must really be confident that he's gonna get off because he's not taking any, you know, deals.
Right. And from my understanding, like, you know, people talk after, and obviously everything that I'm saying is speculative, but this has been like there was an ongoing feud between them regarding parking. I guess Sebastian was a tenant in the building that Mikey's was below, and apparently there was always issues with parking because, as we know, Mikey's has parties there. There's a lot of traffic going there, and they've constantly have had some sort of run-ins with each other regarding the space that's available to park. And apparently this night in question, it was the same thing as well. You know, from my understanding, it was Sebastian went into the store. I don't know if he was already upset. I don't know what words were exchanged during this time, but he went into the store, and unfortunately, and it did result in his life being lost, you know. And
I mean, how do we, I guess, like move on as a community for something like this, man?
I think it's unfortunate because it's like what side gets played, you know? And it's like it's hard to really have a stance on. It's unfortunate the way how we as humans work, you know. We always pick the place that's closest to home
Yeah.
for us. So like if you know, if we knew the victim more, then obviously we would be on the victim side.
By
And if
any
we
means,
knew
and then
being the opposite side more, we would be on
Yeah.
the opposite side a little bit more. But this is a point where it's like you're kind of like wedged in the middle. And my prayers goes out to just both families, you know, because this is a space where both families have the potential. Well, one has lost a loved one, and the Anderson family does have the potential of losing a loved one to prison, you know. So it is a very sensitive time for the Waterbury community, and you know, I'm hoping that it works out in the ways that it's supposed to, you know, because
however that is. I mean, I hope we just as a community just cut down on the violence, man. Like I get it. Like there's feuds. You're not always gonna get along with your neighbors, random people, but like it's just gotten too out of control lately. And like Waterbury already has like this terrible rep around the state as being like the worst place to live in.
Yeah.
And it's really not. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of good things that could be seen in this town, but we are just like ruining our own reputations. I mean, there was like the shooting in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little while back, there was like that guy that was like, you know, held hostage in his fucking house for like 40 years. It's like, we just got to do better. And we got to stop resorting to just straight violence. And I know it's like easier said than done. I mean, fuck it, man. If y'all got issues with somebody out here, bro, set up a fight with Ernest. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like we got the boxing thing going on right now. Like, yo, because the thing is, when it comes to gun violence, man, like that's something you can't come back from.
Yeah.
Like that's a permanent thing most of the time, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's like you're getting erased off this planet or you're going to prison for your life. And like yo, I don't think anyone wants that shit, right? You don't want to spend your life in prison. You don't want to die. So let's just like try to.
And a lot of times we regret it after. People regret the decisions that they make afterwards, you know? And it's obviously like you said, Mikey is confident in this case to some extent, and has been pretty much, from my understanding, their family has been pretty much holding a firm ground on his innocence, you know? So I don't know what that looks like, and I don't even want to speculate on such a sensitive topic, but you know, I'm just hoping that it plays out in a way that, you know, we can kind of squash this whole thing, you know, like it could kind of,
and hopefully there's no retaliation either way.
Right. I'm just hoping that, you know, the families can find the kindness in their heart to forgive Mikey, and Mikey does what he needs to do towards that family, you know? So, yeah.
We'll see. All right, bro. Let's talk money. One of our favorite things, right?
Yeah, one of our favorite segments.
Yeah, so let's catch up, man. How's our goals going? So I'm still on my road to 30K.
Okay. Where are we at now?
I'm at $18,500.
Damn, nigga.
Like,
damn, nigga. Like you wanna?
Y'all ever see a hater real life?
Nah, like
that was some.
It wasn't.
That wasn't a congratulatory.
It wasn't a hater. It was like, damn, my nigga. Like, I'm not doing enough. like I'm not doing enough.
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt,
and
I'm gonna say I'm just gonna go with you right now because that's some shade.
No, you know, because I was happy to break my news on, and then like feel like we should have opened up with mine first. we should have opened up with mine, and then I feel like it's just a disappointment at this point, you know. So, but congrats though.
I'm sorry for doing well.
Congrats, 18,000. So that's a lot, you know. As we know,
but I was pumping in, like the overtime's been crazy.
Yeah,
I've cut my spending down. Like I said, we haven't really been going out.
Yeah,
me too. No casinos for me. I mean, but prior to this weekend.
Let's be honest here.
Prior to this weekend. Let's be honest. I took a 2-month break though.
Okay,
you did. I took a 2-month break.
You did.
I took a 2-month break, but eating out has been much better.
Yep.
Way under control. But yeah, I burned myself out, bro. So like this week and the next week, I'm not really picking up all the time because I feel like I was literally working every single day.
Really?
And it's just like it gets so exhausting. But it helps you achieve your goals. So it's like one of those things. It's like, yo,
I mean, 18,000.
What's more important, my goals or my mental health? And I'm trying to balance both.
18,000, I guess, we're pretty much at the halfway point of the year is really good, you know. And you're pretty much on the better side of hitting that 30K goal.
Yeah.
And I think I congratulate you, to be honest with you. Like I said, 2025 has definitely been your year from the start to finish. You know, it's so thus far, at least,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
where you've accomplished like a
Amen.
lot of things. So to build up your account to 18,000 within like what, 2 months thus far?
No, it's been like 4 months.
You think so?
No, I know so.
Oh, well, okay. Well, 4 months. My bad.
Because no, 4 or 5 months, or actually 5 months. Because
Really?
it was in February.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So
I mean, but I only got down to like I think 9K originally.
really, I thought you wiped it clean.
No.
Okay.
No, I said it. No, I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
I mean, it was a little lower than that. It wasn't like it wasn't zero. I mean, I guess we could watch the whatever updates were at the time, but yeah, it was like so it's not like I built up 18K like.
That's
Well,
what I was on the
Oh
pretenses,
no.
yeah.
I said I had like I didn't clear it out. But
Okay. Yeah, I was on the pretense that you had cleared it out, but yeah, I mean, still 18K building back up.
yeah,
So your goal is 30K for the end of the year.
30K.
And are you pretty much pacing yourself for the rest of the year, or are you just kind of going with the flow?
I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna grind out this summer. To be honest with you, I'm gonna try to enjoy the summer a little bit.
Okay.
So my progress moving forward might not be as much. But
Damn, like we're supposed to be like tucked away together, bro.
no, when I say like, I just don't want to work as much. I'm not like gonna be doing crazy things, but just like kind of chilling, like trying to just be at home chilling.
Yeah, I think that's
Focus on this a little more, you know.
That's one thing that this journey has taught me, you know, is like taking a step away from like the party scene a lot, because like last year or last years we've been going out quite a bit. You know, any opportunity to go out and grab a drink or go out to eat, we've been British. Like we like the slightest thing, we would just go out and spend money. So I think
Fold
right
immediately.
you know, so I think right now we're in a space to where like I'm actually enjoying being home a little bit more and like spending time at my friends' houses a little bit more. You know, like whether
free.
it's cheaper. And I wouldn't say free because you know you end up buying beers and stuff, but yeah, I think it is cheaper. So for me, my goal, I hit a measly minuscule.
Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't do
minuscule.
that. Don't do that. All right, don't do that.
All right, I had a tiny, eeny, weeny, little bitsy 2,700.
So. I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Really,
bro. There was at one point where we started this journey. I'm like, you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
There was like, it was all right. It's 0.
Yeah, it was because it was rough. Like I mean,
that's not okay.
Yeah, for those that don't remember, or for
you're gonna hit at least like You're gonna hit 5K pretty soon.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah, I almost wanted to make it at even 3, but I was like, I don't want to like overstretch myself for this pay period. So yeah, we're at 27, a little over 27 actually.
Nice.
But yeah, I was
But you don't have if I recall, you don't have the exact number you want to reach, right?
No. So initially, I'm gonna be honest with you. Initially, my goal was 36 for this year.
36,000?
Yeah, was for my goal for this year.
36,000?
I swear to God, yeah. I had it mapped out and everything. I was gonna and I'm gonna give you my game plan, right? Game plan. I'm gonna give you my game plan, right?
Tell me the game plan.
I'm gonna tell you the game plan. So when overtime was picking up heavy, I was pretty much pulling in about 3,000 every 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
So I was able to, with my bills, I was pretty much gonna clear off the bulk of my bills in my first paycheck and try to at least dedicate like $1,000 to that one. And then following up, I was gonna do at least $2,000 in my second bill. So I mean, my second paycheck.
Okay.
So that would have pretty much had me on track for 36K for the year. So, but going back to the times where you had brought up where I wasn't doing much. Around that time, like, you know, I was trying to pace myself for it. So that's why I was clearing off a lot of debt. I was paying off a lot of my bills and paid up my car insurance ahead of time. I paid off my car payment. So that way I can have as much free flowing cash as possible.
Okay.
So that way I would be able to achieve the goal, which the moment I did set up everything is when the overtime got cut. Yeah.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
Unfortunately, that 36,000 goal is an overshoot. I
mean, you gotta be pretty much saving like 8K a month at this point to kind of
which it's not happening. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, bro, I feel like if you get 5K to me is like good.
No, it's not.
No, I guess when I compare it is like when they say like the average American doesn't have $1,000. It's like I feel like if you already got 2,000, you're ahead of the group by like a lot, right? So if you have 5K saved up, to me, I think you're doing okay right now, right? Okay. If you have 10K saved up, you're doing good.
I think here's the way I look at it, right? I'm looking at it in the event of a major
Emergency?
expense, right? Or a major emergency, right? How much of a cushion do I have in, and how much money would I have left over?
Bro, the crazy thing about that shit is, like, even at 30K, a major expense could like clear it out so easily.
I mean, so outside of health, no. So like outside
Well,
of
see, all right, but as a homeowner, it's a
right. That's what I'm saying. So we have different responsibilities.
I mean, bro, so I need an AC unit, like
Right.
for central air. That's 6,000.
Yeah.
That was 6,000 2 summers ago. Before shit got bad. I don't even want to look
at what a quote would be now. That's what I'm saying. So like we're in two different places in life, you know, where like you have, I guess, much more hanging over your head in a sense. So that, you know,
I feel like I need 100K
right.
like to be comfortable where I can spend, you know, whatever I need on like an emergency and then still have some left over.
Exactly.
Because I feel like at 30K, you pretty much, that could be easily cleared.
So my main thing right now, my biggest issue is my car. You know, as I've been within our friend group, you know, I've been complaining about my car for quite a while now. Yeah. And Uber had done a number on my car when I was without a job last year, and the problems have just been stockpiling on top of that. So in terms of like where I am at right now, I think, you know, 5K isn't enough because any major incident with my car, that savings account is pretty much cleared, you know. Okay. So and I'm at the mileage right now where it's major work. So it's either an engine or a transmission that is gonna go on my car, you know. So
you need a new car.
If not that, then getting a new car and then having a down payment for a new car, only having $5,000, or in a general sense, that's not all that I have. Yeah. But only having 5K would be like not enough, you know. So for me, I think that 5K is on the lower end. I don't know what my end of the year number would be, you know, but I'm, like I said, I just plan on.
I could see around 8 to 10K.
You know what's funny? You said my end of the year number was 3K. That's what you said before we started this whole thing on the podcast. You were like,
no, I had said like, because you didn't want to pick a number,
right?
But you had a number. You were being sneaky about it.
I was being hopeful that I could get back on track.
Thank you for not telling me that 36K. I'm like, you're out your
fucking you would have discouraged me. See, this is why sometimes you have to keep things away from your friends.
I respect it. But yeah, I mean, I just had picked a random number for you. I'm like, all right, pick something like to strive for, you know. But I mean, you're pretty much there halfway through the year. I think you could definitely get the 8 to 10K.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. But like, I just know that 36 is just not feasible.
Tell you what, I'll make this interesting for you. You get the 10K this year. I'll take you out for dinner. 2-drink minimum though.
I like the sounds of that. I thought you said you was gonna donate another 10K. I would have been like, oh, now we're talking.
Like, get the fuck
now we're talking. Like,
yeah, I'll donate a fucking $1.
Damn, it'd be your friend. See, he want to shit on my 36K, but that would contribute $1 to my fund.
I got 10K to fucking donate. I don't even give 10K to my girl.
I mean, but we all know the relationship with your boys and relationship with your girl is two different relationships, you know.
Ain't no relationship worth 10K.
Nah, but I'll take you up on that. I like that.
All
yeah.
right.
So. But yeah,
why don't we make it interesting?
Mm-hmm.
You have 10K, I take you out. You don't have 10K, you take me out.
That just hurts me. Like, I already don't got the 10,000, and then you want me to spend more money on top of that? The money I don't got. That's crazy. I don't know.
Are we shaking on it?
No, we're not.
Come on. This should be motivation for you. First of all, I'll take you somewhere decent. You could take me to Chili's if you fail.
Oh,
Chili's.
I don't want to do that, bro. You know why? Because I always lose bets to you. Always.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so like
that's true.
I don't even want to take that.
You're betting percentage against me is not well.
Exactly. It is extremely low. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave that alone, right?
Okay.
But for me, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a specific number. I guess right now we're just kind of seeing where things go. But yeah, I'm up to 2,700 right now on that account.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Since we're on the conversation of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your ideal life? What would your all right? Let me ask. How do I phrase this? What would your ideal life cost you a month? like,
how much would I have to make?
yeah, pretty much like, all right, 10K, 15K, 20K, a million. Like, how much would you have to make a month to live the ideal life that you want?
2 stages, right? I think for
Of course,
me right
complicated.
now, complicated, right?
Yeah.
For me per usual. Oh, come on, it's on brand with
Yeah.
me. But the place where I would like to be at in order to not work would be, I would say, $50,000 making money from the podcast. I would be happy.
A month.
No, $50,000 a year.
No. I'm asking you, what would your ideal?
Oh no, I get
life-
what you mean. So
Okay.
per month, let's break that down. Maybe like, what is that?
Like 6K.
Yeah, just about like 5,000-6,000.
That's all your ideal life would cost you 6K a month?
I would be, to be honest with you, if I can make $5,000 from the podcast, like, and reoccurring, and I know there's a guaranteed 5K, I would quit my job and I would focus on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
For 5K?
Yeah, for 5,000. I would quit.
Okay.
But if my ideal amount would probably be around, for my life to be completely happy, a minimum of at least like 40 to 50,000 a year. A month, I mean.
A month. So you gotta
Yeah.
make 40 to 50K a month to have your ideal life.
Yeah.
Really?
I think I'm around like 40 to 50,000.
I mean, what's that come out to like a year? Like 450?
No, that's what, 5? That's 600,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
648, 48,000, 480 to 600. Okay.
You have an expensive ideal life.
I mean, I just think about it enough to where I could be like, I just don't have to. My main thing is stress. So, which is why, like, on the first thing, the more realistic one is like, all right, like, I want a $5,000 like monthly expense, like, generating from the podcast, you know? So that way I don't have to work. I could dedicate all the time that I need to the podcast. I pretty much am my own boss. I could pick up Uber if I want to, whatever, you feel me? But like $50,000 annually, yeah, I'm good with that. But then my ideal life, like, I get to have it my way, like Burger King. I'm gonna do 50,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, you're making me reevaluate this. I was gonna say 35K for mine.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like if you make 35K a month, yo, I there's nothing else you could want.
Now 35K take home?
Yeah. No, when I say these things, let's take home. I'm not adding this bullshit federal income tax.
Yeah.
These state taxes and shit. So scared. No.
Now I feel like I just don't want to have to like stress. You know, I would hope that, like,
I mean, I feel like, yo, for 35K a month, that'd be zero stress.
You think so? I think obviously, like, that's relative because, like, where we're at, obviously, like, an increase by 10,000 would be amazing, you know? But I think 35,000, I think that's still, like, scary territory, you know? Like, I don't
know how I'm gonna make it this month, guys.
I could enjoy life, but I can't wild out. You feel me? Like,
you don't think you could wild out for 30? If you were making 35K a month, you don't think you could wild out?
Nah, I don't think so, bro.
I've seen you wild out on 2K a month.
Nah, bro, like 35,000, but that's irresponsible. I'm talking about responsible. This responsible A1, I don't think I could enjoy life 100% at there. Don't get me wrong, I have a massively increase in in my life being enjoyable, but like 35K, I still think I would have to like manage my money like appropriately. Like, I can't fuck up too much.
Okay,
bro, you know us. Like,
you know me,
right? Our appetites are massive. You feel me? And like you said, on a much lower like monthly income. You feel me? So if we are operating like this, where like on I guess a relatively average salary, you feel me? 35K, our appetite is just getting bigger. Like, the meals are just getting more expensive. The trips are just getting bigger. The jewelry is getting bigger. Like, the cars are getting bigger. The house is getting bigger.
I feel like I'd wall out like the first 3 months. Like the first 3 months.
You say that. That's what everyone says. Like, that's what That's what everybody says. Like, I'm just gonna do it now. But then you automatically think, what do we say all the time? I'm gonna get that shit back. Like, I'm gonna lose and I'm gonna get that shit back. And
it's valid.
And then you're gonna get it. You're gonna think about you getting it back, and you're gonna blow the bag again. So
okay.
I think the problem is we're gonna add multiple expenses. That's the issue. But yeah, 50K me. I'm dead.
I think I'll raise it up. I'll raise it up to 40. I'll be reasonable. 40K a month. I'll be straight.
Yeah, I think that's a good salary.
All right, cool.
I could survive on that.
I know you would. All right, you ready for my favorite tweets of the week?
I sure am.
I need you to be a little more excited.
I am excited for your favorite tweets of the week.
All right, and my favorite tweets of the week. Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this, but you cannot beat the arrival time on your GPS.
Do not test me because I damn sure can, bro.
I feel like I do every single time.
Every time.
Like, yeah, even if it's by a minute, like it's just I take it as a personal challenge.
Absolutely.
Yo, because I always wonder, like, how do they really calculate it? Do they know you're gonna speed? When they
I think they average like the speed limit in it. And then they go based off the speed limit and traffic. So yeah, if like iPhones or anyone else with like reporting devices.
Because I always wonder, like, if I'm already doing 80, are they calculating my arrival time from me doing 80 all the way?
No. They're averaging your speed based off of the speed limit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna beat it every time.
Yeah, that's why you see the minutes go down, and then when you start going slower, the minutes go up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This one I thought of you.
Okay.
Quit stressing. Get you a white girl.
I'm on the verge. Like I'm this close, bro.
You haven't broken yet,
bro. I'm this close. Like I've dabbled into the forbidden territory.
How far have you dabbled?
I tasted the rainbow.
Okay,
but
wasn't that gay, man?
Yeah, no, come on, bro.
No, I'm just saying.
Come on. But I've dabbled, right? But for me, like, I just don't think it. You know what's funny? I think it even stems further than white women. I think it's just like I don't think I could date a black American either. Honestly,
what do you mean?
Like I would feel like you have to come from somewhere.
Like you have to be outside of America.
At least your family wise, like your family has to be like your family background has to be from somewhere.
You have to be like a first generation American.
Somewhere along the lines,
okay.
or either very interested.
What if it's like a immigrant white girl?
I could do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just don't want an American woman.
See, the thing is, I'm not physically attracted to white women, right? But I think in terms of, I'm physically attracted to obviously black American women, but the problem is I think like culturally, like our lives don't balance. And I actually realized that after my last relationship, you know, I feel like I didn't know that was a major thing for me, but especially like from us going to Barbados, the cookouts at my family's house, the food that my family makes.
Yeah, I mean, women that come from a different country definitely operate in a different way than women that's been born in America.
And I think they appreciate other people's cultures a little bit more. You know, I think Black American culture just kind of dismisses everything else outside of Black American culture. Okay. In a sense, to where it's not of importance. So down to like our music, you know, our food, our interests, stuff like that. I feel like we need to have mesh in other areas to where like there'll be a mutual appreciation for both cultures. You know, I'm always invested into like learning from another person's culture, and I would want somebody that's also mutually invested into like learning about my culture as well. So I think dating wise, yeah, I would at least like to date somebody that has some sort of like traditional background in a sense.
Okay.
You know?
Outside of America.
Outside of America. Yeah.
Preferably black, but not limited to that.
Not limited to that.
I mean, that's a big statement from you, because I remember when I first met you, you were a very anti-white girl.
I'm anti-white American girl. Like white American, no. Okay. Like Black American, I would date you, obviously, but I would like for you to be more cultured. But now, adding a little asterisk to that, you could be white cultured.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. This one, favorite tweet. This one had me cracking up.
Okay.
Bro. Okay. I hate when my girl go out with her friends because they all ugly, and I know who the niggas is gonna walk to.
It's like a funnel system. Like,
yo, this shit had me crying. It's like, yo, it's so true, but it's like, yo, do you want your girl to be the ugly one in the group, or do you want her to be the baddest?
You know, contrary to like popular belief, I feel like guys don't really go for the baddest one in the group. Like they always usually go for like the mid to ugly,
the range. Medium ugly girls?
Yeah, like the ones that's attainable, the ones that's like the easiest one to get. So like,
yo, is this how lions hunt? Like when they see the wounded,
the wounded animal, the wounded gazelle. I don't want my girl being the wounded gazelle. Like,
so the sevens is like the wounded gazelles in the group?
I don't want my girl having self-esteem issues in the club. Like no, like I need you to be well sure of who you are. That way, when guys come up to you, you you dismiss it because you're happy with what you got.
Mm.
You know, I don't need that any sprinkle of attention you're running towards.
All right. With all that being said, right?
Yeah.
In your girl's friend group, do you want her to be the baddest or just someone that's just kind of like in the middle?
I like ugly girls, so like, it's just that's what I like.
Ugly girls that ain't from America.
Yeah,
My type.
My type. I love an ugly girl.
Okay.
I think more personality. So.
I want the second best looking.
Really?
Yeah, second option.
Not like a little quirkiness. Bad. No.
What is that? What are you even saying right now? What was that?
Because I get where you're coming from with it, you know, but like, yeah, nah. Give me the ugliest one, bro.
You want the grenade out of the group,
bro? I want the dud. That's what I want. One of the ones that niggas.
Yo, do you feel like this is a self-esteem issue from yourself?
No, I just like ugly girls, bro. I feel like bad girls don't have any personality. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, like their personality be their body, or like their personality be their looks. You know, so
okay.
outside of that,
I've seen that. I think that's I think vanity is a big thing in today's world.
Right, like any opportunity, you're taking pictures of your butt, you're twisting you're making faces, you're taking pictures of yourself.
You want attention.
All right, you're fluffing your hair, you're doing your makeup. I don't want to deal with none of that. Like, I honestly want somebody that's like truly down to earth. You feel me? And
you feel like ugly girls are down to earth?
I think so. I feel like they have to make, bro. I've made this statement before, right? So maybe it is a tie into me. Like, my personality has gotten me in pussy that my looks could not.
Okay.
You feel me? So like, I feel like my person, because I'm like not what most people will go for initially. Like, I obviously have to like make up for it with my personality, and I think that ugly girls too. You feel me? Ugly girls and baby moms, bro. Like, ugly baby mom.
That's the jackpot for you.
Yo, like you one of the niggas. Like, this way, like
just come here, baby.
Bro, we could chill all day. Like, who even needs to go outside? You an ugly baby mom? Oh my goodness! Like,
you're made perfect.
You're made for me. Like, at this point, like,
that's wild.
Yo,
wow,
bro. We could chill all day and just talk.
All right, man.
We could just talk with the lights off.
We ain't gotta look at each other. Baby.
We ain't gotta look at each other at all.
Just feel these.
Yeah, just.
All right. Favorite tweet of the week. Watching baddies is for low bribe. All right, my bad. this shit got me.
The ugly baby moms fucked you up, bro.
It did. All right. Come on. All right, serious. All right, favorite tweet of the week. Watching baddies is for low vibrational women.
Yo, facts.
Bro, that's a big red flag to me, bro.
Facts.
Yo, I honestly feel like baddies, housewives of whatever other shit VH1 got or whatever shows, bro, is slowly corrupting women and making them the worst type of people America has to offer right now.
1,000%.
Like, bro, if you're talking to a girl and she reveals to you that she watches this show, run away immediately. She's not the one for you.
Bro, I've been saying this for a while. It's funny because last year I dated this younger girl, right? And I remember we were having a conversation and she was telling me how she was very headstrong, right? And I remember we were having a conversation. We were talking about how she likes to watch one of those shows. I think it was Baddies or something like that. And I was like, yo, like, this is the problem with like today, you know, like people take that information and then like it kind of conditions them into responding like that way in their actual relationship. And she argued down with me. She just was like, it's entertainment. That doesn't mean I'm going to act like that or whatever. But there is validity to that because it's like, even in the way in which she responds, you know, like she responds in a way to where like very argumentative, very combative, has like this woke, like modern day woman personality, you know? And it's like, I think that this was like one of the worst things that they could have given the black community is Baddies and Raw
So you
Housewives.
think these shows are mostly affecting black women?
Life, Love, and Hip Hop. Absolutely, bro.
Okay.
I think
that's the other show I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Love and Hip Hop.
yeah. These are the words. These are the shows that are like there's and it sucks because like
it's ruining our community,
bro, for sure. Like it's like, and like all jokes aside, bro, like this is like one of the things where I believe that the white people are literally sitting here laughing at us. Like,
is this like a CIA plan, yo? Like,
I was gonna say that. Like, this is like, I was gonna say that because it's like, there's no way that like from the music that we listen, and bro, all jokes aside, like from the music that we listen to, from the TV shows that we watch, from the style of the way that we dress, the way that we talk, the way that we handle each other, bro, it's like we're really conditioned to just deteriorate ourselves, like, and like self-sabotage, you know, like
from the
it's
inside
like,
out.
yeah, it's like that doesn't make sense to me at any other way, because it's like, obviously, I think interest is something that is like, you know, influenced by your environment as well. And I think it's like something that, you know, because my friend like said, let me be cool. Let me watch it also and enjoy it as well. Subconsciously, I'm saying that, let me enjoy it as well because my friend likes it. But I do believe that, like, you know, this is a way for us to just, like I said, just like self-sabotage, you know. It's like, it really is bringing us to a space to, like I said, we are communicating like this, like in relationships. I guarantee you know somebody that like their girlfriend responds in the way that like these baddies respond, which is like cannot communicate, very aggressive, very explosive, very dismissive, violent. You feel me? And guys also, I mean, the guys is the worst, because, you know, it's okay for a woman to be emotional, you feel me, and to have emotional outbursts. But as a man, like, you're responding in the same way as well towards a woman also, you feel me? Like, you can't communicate, you can't express your feelings appropriately, but you have to result into throwing things and punching stuff, and it forces us to stick in toxic relationships because we don't leave each other. You feel me? Like,
because we think it's also normal, because that's what we're seeing on TV.
Absolutely. You know,
years.
Like, it makes us believe
it's
that,
becoming the new norm because we're conditioning ourselves through watching this type of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's like, bro, it's one of the worst things that could have happened to the black community, period, bro. And it's really saddening that, like, people don't see that. Obviously, like, for whatever reason, bro, like, we just love drama. That's why fight videos get the most views that way.
Well, I think everyone loves drama. I think everyone consumes drama differently, though. Right. I think white people love political drama. I think that's why they're always watching news and shit like that. I think we're watching like these brain rot TV shows.
My point, you know, and it sucks because it's actually, you would hear conversations that, like, I know we're going a little bit too deep into this, right?
But it was deep, baby.
We were hearing conversations, right, where, like, it's funny because I really like analyzing people, and I would listen to conversation between like a white couple, right? Mm-hmm. And it's always like surface level bullshit, and I'm like, it would irritate me to my core because it's like, damn, like, do you guys do nothing, like, have nothing exciting going on? Like, I'm pretty sure you know somebody at work that's just like so mayonnaise that it's like
vanilla.
Yeah, so no, not even vanilla. So mayonnaise, okay. Bro. Like, so Miracle Whip that it's like, like, what excites you? Like, what gets you going, right? And it makes,
I know what you mean, because I look at those couples, I'm like, there's just no way you have sex,
right? Like
I just I physically can't picture it.
I can't picture it at all, you know. Yeah. And it's like, what, like, when you see a black couple, or you see white friends, right? Let's just say white friends specifically. They're talking about relationship drama between Tom or whatever, and he did some surface level thing that's pissing her off, or they're upset about a dress or whatever. You hear two black friends talking about each other. Sex, drugs, violence.
Maybe it's just your crowd,
bro. No, it's not even the people that I'm around. This is like outside people. You feel me? Like, people, whether it's like when I did Uber, or I'm hearing conversations of like friends having conversations, or I'm hearing conversations that are just around me. You feel me? Like, I feel like it's just always fit the same narrative with us. Like, where our culture is like very sexual and like fucking addict culture, like, and hyper violent. Like, it's just like, it makes sense on why white people look at us as like we're fucking degenerates. Like, it makes sense.
I don't know, man. I feel like, but what percentage of us actually behave like that? I don't think it's a large percentage.
I don't think it's a large percentage of that behave like that.
I think it does get a lot of shine, though. I think the spotlight. I think the spotlight definitely gets put on those people that represent us poorly, and I think the media goes with it. But I think most people, especially most women, I don't think most women watch these shows. What do you think? Most black women.
I think a large percentage.
You think a large percentage? Like, what percentage?
30 to 40.
That's large.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe 15.
No, I think a large percentage, because I think it's also like a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. You know, a lot of people, like, even though they may not live that life, like they may come from a good household, it's almost like they live vicariously through their, like, the things that they watch. You ever see like a girl that is like very timid and nice, and then like she'll attach herself to like the mean girl or whatever, because like through the mean girl, it's like the mean girl gets to say and do the things and live their life in a way that like that they themselves can't live. You feel me? Like they don't have the confidence
to see it,
to.
but you don't actually have to deal with it.
Exactly. You feel me? Like you will have like, you'll date a girl. Like, why does every girl have a thought friend? Why is that possible? Like, it's because they get to live their thought fantasies through their friend. You feel me? Like,
you might be honest.
I'm telling you, like, it's just.
Does every girl have a thought friend?
Almost every girl has a thought friend, and if she doesn't,
hold up.
If she doesn't, my boy.
Oh, shit.
My boy. I'm sorry to tell you, but every girl. Why does every girl?
You just shook my world up. Hold on, man. Let me process this, bro.
Go ahead, process.
Does every girl have a thought friend?
Every girl has one thought friend. There's always one thought friend in the friend group.
And if she doesn't have the thought friend, then 1 + 1 = 2. That's minus the 3. Oh shit.
she might be, my boy. Like, she might be. I'm telling you, because they want to live their life through that person. You feel me? Like, it's like,
okay.
give me all the juice. Like, give me. Damn, you really did that? She'll never tell her friend that she's wrong. She'll actually promote her friend doing the shit. She may not do it, but she'll promote the shit. And I think that's why, like, I think the percentage is much higher, to be honest with you.
All right, man. I don't necessarily agree, but you got me thinking.
I'm telling you, man.
You got me thinking right now.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, that was my last tweet.
Yeah, I think
we'll wrap it up on that.
We'll wrap it up on that, man. And my boys, my niggas, my guys, my dudes. Check your girl, man. If she don't got a thought friend, she's
shit.
Now
I'm hoping they got thought friends.
She's that thought friend, you know.
All right, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Like I said earlier in the episode, support the podcast by dropping a like. Just drop a comment. It could be literally a 100 emoji, a check mark emoji. Drop something. It helps the algorithm, promote our stuff, and that's, it helps us.
Yeah.
We'll see you on next episode.
Later.